Like and subscribe might be a simple click for you, but it will lead to a transformational change of our channel. Support us to achieve 5 million subscribers by year 2028. Lena Klammer is a 31-year-old woman afflicted with a rare hormonal disorder, hypopituitarism, which causes her to look like a 10-year-old child. She resides in the Saarne Mental Institution in Estonia and is considered their most perilous patient. In 2007, an art therapy instructor named Anna accepts a therapist position at the institution. Anna is briefed about Lena by a doctor and informed of the security measures. During their conversation, another doctor rushes to inform them that Lena has vanished. The entire facility promptly goes into lockdown, and the doctor places Anna in a dark room, assuring her of its safety before leaving. However, Anna is not alone in the room. A child sitting behind her is sketching a picture of her. Anna asks for the child's name and is shocked to learn it is the psychopathic Lena. The childlike woman grips a sharp pencil, poised to kill Anna. Fortunately, before she can act, guards and the doctor arrive and remove her. A few days later, Lena orchestrates an escape from the Saarne Institute. She entices a guard into her cell by seducing him and then converses with him for a while. When the guard is distracted, she suddenly seizes him and bashes his head against the wall, killing him. She then sneaks out of the facility with the help of her deranged friend Iditi, who incapacitates a guard near the front entrance in exchange for a piece of candy. It is revealed that Lena had meticulously planned everything, proving she is not only dangerous but also highly intelligent. She has monitored Anna's movements within the facility and knows the exact time she leaves. Shortly after, she approaches Anna and pretends to flee into the woods, causing Anna to leave her car unattended and run into the facility to inform the doctors. The plan succeeds, and with no one around, Lena hides in the trunk of Anna's car. Inside the facility, Anna informs the doctor of what she witnessed, and he assures her that the police will handle the situation. Anna then returns home, unaware that Lena is concealed in her car trunk. Upon arriving home, the little psychopath follows her inside. Lena greets Anna with a crowbar to the head, knocking her out. She then goes to Anna's study, uses her computer, and searches for missing American girls. She finds one named Esther Albright who disappeared in 2003 and bears a resemblance to her. Confident, Lena dresses in Anna's clothes. As she is about to leave, she realizes Anna has woken up. The poor woman pleads for mercy, but Lena picks up the crowbar and bludgeons her to death. Later that night, the deranged girl heads to a park and pretends to be lost. Soon, an Estonian police officer approaches her and asks if she is alright. Lena introduces herself as Esther Albright and claims her parents are in the United States. The scene then shifts to Darien, Connecticut, where wealthy artist Alan Albright and his philanthropist wife, Tricia, are attending their son Gunnar's fencing tournament. The couple leaves the venue after their son wins, and it becomes clear that Alan has not yet come to terms with the disappearance of his daughter Esther. Before they get in the car to head home, Detective Donnan, who is in charge of the police search for Esther, approaches them. He informs Alan and Tricia that their daughter has been found in Estonia, much to their shock and disbelief. The next day, Tricia travels to Estonia and meets Esther after 4 long years. She is overjoyed to have her daughter back and hugs her tightly. After reaching the United States, the family has an emotional reunion at the airport. However, Gunnar seems unenthusiastic about meeting his sister. Shortly after, Tricia brings the imposter girl home and starts having doubts when she notices that Esther has forgotten about her grandmother's death and can now draw exceptionally well. The following day, Tricia takes her to the family psychologist, Dr. Seeger, to gain information on her life during her supposed kidnapping in Estonia. After the session, Esther is sent outside the office while the doctor calls in Tricia. The little psychopath eavesdrops on their conversation and hears Dr. Seeger saying that all of Esther's answers were wrong. For example, she mistakenly called Dr. Seeger's parrot by the wrong name, even though Esther had known it previously. Hearing this, Esther fakes a fall to interrupt their discussion. She pretends to be injured, prompting Tricia to leave with her abruptly. As they are heading home, Esther notices a man taking pictures of her, who turns out to be Detective Donnan. This worries Esther, and she starts fearing that the detective may soon uncover the truth. After a while, they get home, and Alan begins bonding with Esther over their shared love of painting, which never interested the real Esther. Meanwhile, Tricia observes that Esther's apparent return has positively impacted her husband, making him more inspired with his artwork and more affectionate toward his family. That same night, as the family is having dinner, Detective Donnan interrupts them. He welcomes Esther back but seems suspicious of her. Noticing this, Esther leaves the dinner table and eavesdrops on the family's conversation with the detective. Donnan suggests the family have a counseling session with Dr. Seeger to better understand their daughter during her disappearance. Esther, overhearing this, worries that she might be exposed, so she returns to the dinner table and quickly changes the topic. Later that night, she plans to run away, fearing Donnan is onto her, but reconsiders when she gets the idea that she can seduce Alan into a romantic relationship. In the next scene, Tricia and Alan are getting ready to attend a party. As they get romantic inside their room, Esther spies on them and rips Tricia's dress out of jealousy. Afterward, the couple leaves Esther home alone with her brother Gunnar. However, instead of spending time with his little sister, Gunnar organizes a backyard party and invites several friends. Esther joins the party, and when Gunnar behaves rudely towards her, she responds with equal harshness. Suddenly, Detective Donnan arrives at the Albright home. Gunnar answers the door and asks him to leave since he is having a party. However, Donnan insists on using the bathroom. Gunnar reluctantly agrees, and Donnan enters Esther's room, searching through it and even stealing a vinyl record with Lena's fingerprints on it. As he leaves, Esther realizes he has taken the record and decides to follow him. Meanwhile, Alan and Tricia return home. Tricia calls out to Esther but gets no response, so she heads to her room. Before following Donnan, Esther had turned on the shower to make it seem like she was inside. Assuming Esther is showering, Tricia seizes the opportunity to search through a keepsake Bible that the little girl brought from Estonia. To her surprise, Tricia finds defaced family photos of herself and Alan, an address for Detective Donnan, and a stamp identifying the Sarn Institute. At Donnan's place, he verifies that the fingerprint lifted from the record does not match Esther's. Suddenly, he senses a presence lurking in the shadows. When he turns around, Esther begins stabbing him repeatedly. As she is about to finish him off, Tricia unexpectedly appears and shoots the detective dead. It is then revealed that Tricia knew all along that Lena isn't her daughter. She also confesses that Gunnar accidentally killed the real Esther during an argument 4 years earlier, and she covered it up without Alan's knowledge to protect him. Following this, Tricia interrogates Esther, discovering that she is a murderous psychopath who escaped a psychiatric facility. Realizing Lena has a larger scheme in mind, possibly one involving the entire family, Tricia decides to keep her around, as Esther's return has rekindled a spark in her husband. Through a mutually beneficial arrangement, Tricia compels Lena to continue her ruse and stay quiet. The two then dispose of Donnan's body in the same well where Tricia had disposed of the real Esther 4 years ago. After returning home, Tricia privately tells Gunnar what is going on, and he agrees to go along with the plan. Over the next few weeks, Tricia coaches Lena on how to deceive Dr. Seeger and family friends to convince everyone that she is the real Esther. However, Lena refuses to be bossed around, causing tension. Eventually, Tricia gets fed up and decides to kill Lena by poisoning her pasta. But the plan hits a snag when Lena throws a tantrum after learning that Alan is going on a business trip without her, leaving the table without eating. Later, Lena gives the food to a rat in her room and finds it dead a few days later, deducing that Tricia tried to poison her and deciding to take revenge. The next day, Lena retaliates by tricking Tricia into sipping a smoothie containing the dead mouse. As time passes, Lena and Alan spend more time together, increasing her infatuation with him. One day, Tricia, Gunnar, and Lena go to a train station to see Alan off on his business trip. There, Lena attempts to kill Tricia and Gunnar by pushing them in front of a moving train. Her plan is foiled by a passing commuter, and Tricia realizes the danger, deciding to kill Lena once and for all. Lena pepper sprays Gunnar, hijacks Tricia's car, and flees, playing a song and smoking a cigarette, unaware that Tricia has called the cops on her. She is soon pulled over by a cop and forced to return home. Now, Tricia and Gunnar are determined to kill Lena, as she has become too much of a threat. Tricia plans to slit Lena's wrists, making her death appear as a suicide caused by the trauma she experienced during her years of captivity. She leaves Gunnar to handle Lena, but the plan goes awry when Lena breaks free and murders Gunnar with his own fencing sword. In the meantime, Tricia is distracted by a call from Alan, informing her that he is returning home after being notified by the police about Esther's escape attempt. She returns to find Gunnar being repeatedly stabbed by Lena. Devastated, Tricia engages in a brutal fight with Lena, slamming her around the kitchen and slashing her with a knife. During the scuffle, they inadvertently ignite a fire in the gas burner. The fight continues to the rooftop as the house catches fire. Alan arrives to see the house in flames and the two women fighting on the roof. Both Lena and Trisha lose their balance and hang from the edge. Alan rushes to help, but both women scream for him to save them first. Trisha loses her grip and falls to her death. Devastated, Alan pulls Lena up, only to notice her fake teeth, realizing she is an imposter. Enraged, he calls her a monster, prompting Lena to push him off the roof, causing him to meet the same fate as Trisha. As fire trucks arrive, Lena goes into the burning house, changes her bloody ribbons, and emerges to deflect suspicion. In front of the firemen, she comes out of the house. In the final scene, Dr. Seeger meets Lena and arranges for her adoption. The movie ends with the psychotic girl giving a menacing smile, implying that she is about to continue her reign of terror with a new family soon. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you don't miss any of our video updates.